Alright everyone, it's finally come to that. I have to talk about a person who does like hip-hop. Now to be clear, I have watched the music video and it's better than some modern music, but hip-hop and sort of pop-hop, not the kind of music I listen to. I tend to listen to retro stuff, and because of my perspective on politics and music, I figured that I would cover this. It's about Lil Nas X. I might be mispronouncing that, I don't know. Making a music video in which he gives Satan a lap dance and various things, and then he's releasing actually today Satanshoes, which actually have like supposedly a drop of human blood, I guess, added to the ink that's made. Now, I would say my only problem with these shoes is that they're made by Nike. I find it funny that the people that are freaking out right now, sometimes for religiously moralistic purposes, dude, you should be protesting Nike anyway because they use child slave labor over in China. Because they fluff piece for Beijing, for communism. That's my problem with them. By the way, I would actually be tempted maybe to get a pair of these just as a collector's item, just to piss people off more with their cancel culture if it weren't Nike making them. If he had used a company, like if they were going to be made in the USA from US components, yeah, I might be willing to make that investment just to make a really spicy video, but because it's Nike, I can't do that. So thank you, Rap Dude. Please release an unlimited edition, but don't use Nike, and then we'll see what we can do. Anyway, I get a feeling that most of the people complaining, first we'll talk about people complaining about like the video itself. It's like, oh my god, he's giving a gay lap dance to Satan and stuff like that, and you know, it's obviously a sexualized video. We're not going to bother debating the point. I've noticed a lot of them don't seem to understand the underpinning of the actual symbolic meaning of the video. If you actually look at what this individual has been literally openly proclaiming online for weeks, this video essentially is about him no longer giving a fuck about like the hell thing because he's been told he's gay, openly gay, and he's been told his entire life that because he's gay he's going to go to hell. And so basically it's just like, you know, and music videos, if they're any good, they tend to sort of tell a story, and this one kind of does that in a roundabout way. It's about that. About the fact that he's like, okay, well, if I'm going to hell, I'm going to hell. I'm who I am, and, you know, leave me alone, basically. I'm tired of hearing all these people bitching at me, so I'm going to throw it back in their face and piss them off. The outrage mob mentality that I see responding to that, number one, is no different from leftist cancel culture, and I'll get into that as well, because there's a qualifier there. And number two, proves his point. He got what he wanted. He's front page news for pissing a bunch of people off. The same people who thought Harry Potter had caused devil worship and stuff, and they're rambling about degeneracy. Okay, there have been so many songs and so many music videos that are more crazy than this. Have you ever heard of the band Coven? 1969 is a rock band, sort of dark psychedelic. Dude, they have a song called For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge that's about illicit sex. They have literally tacked a black mass onto the end of their fucking album. Way more edgy than this. This is almost sort of playful and fun, to tell the truth. Again, not my kind of music. I'm not going to like put it on an MP3 player or something, but you know, the music video, again, I tend to like things that piss people off, you can probably tell. As far as the cancel culture side, I see people saying, well, this is different. This isn't attempting to censor anyone. This is not cancel culture. That's not what cancel culture means. Cancel culture isn't just you got literally canceled, like depersoned because of your political beliefs or something. Part of the element of it is just the idea that things are morally reprehensible and taboo to the point where they should be like shunned and stuff like that. There's no, it's like the difference between a state censoring you and a private business. Well, who cares? It's still censorship. There's still an element of cancel culture there. I find it funny that all of these right-wing, and even in some cases libertarian, sadly, accounts, that are like, well, censorship is bad, I'm a free speech warrior, I'm for total free speech, you should be able to tell bigoted jokes and stuff. Yes, you should. You should also be able to make a music video like this, and I don't understand why people are having a problem with it. If you don't like it, then turn the knob, essentially. The left used to say that in the 2000s, punk music and grindcore and shit, heavy metal, rap. Now they're saying it again in between, of course, the left saying, bake the fucking cake, bigot. And what you see is that most people are only for free speech if it's the speech that they agree with. So they're not pro-free speech, they're pro-regulated speech. It does not matter if the speech is being shunned into silence, there should not be any silence, or is being directly censored by a private or state entity. Now, to the shoes, again, it's kind of a funny thing. Look, there's a limited edition of 666 of them, and they're selling for a minimum of like $1,000. That's the minimum price. So the dude's going to clean up hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's getting to piss people off. He's putting like, you know, very semi-sexualized like gay photography on the website. So it's obviously a marketing gimmick. And he's getting his way. He's not only is he going to get an infusion of, you know, he might make $500,000 fucking bucks just off the shoes. Not only is he getting a quick paycheck, he's also getting more airplay for the music video. There's another part of it, is simple commercialism. Think about it this way. And I've talked about this, like when people are saying, well, Katy Perry's Dark Horse is occult and evil and satanic, or Lady Gaga or something like that. If I were a rock star or a rapper or something, if I were a Hollywood actor, I would deliberately inject occultism into everything that I did. Because if I'm catering to a crowd that is the progressive kids and stuff like that, if I'm catering to that crowd, and those are the people that are listening to rap and pop and stuff, the diversity people. Some conservative Christian sitting on a farm is not going to watch the music video unless they are antagonized by it, unless I'm getting a lot of attention. Negative attention is great attention as long as the people that normally wouldn't interact with the material are interacting with it. Look, every click is a click. Every view is a view. It doesn't matter the like-dislike ratio and stuff. The way in which the internet specifically works, just on a technological basis, just on a cold calculating engineering and math basis, rewards getting more attention regardless of what form that attention takes. There is an incentive, a very financial incentive for someone like this to antagonize. He's enjoying himself by doing so. He's exposing the hypocrisy of certain people who look through the accounts. Just on a whim, I did this the other day. I looked at some of the accounts like on the Breitbart report. They were talking about how bad it was. And then I did an advanced Twitter search, by the way, on 10 different accounts. Now this is a very small sample size, so take it with a grain of salt. You could probably write a script and sample 1,000 accounts. Find 1,000 accounts that are bitching about the music video, the shoes, talking about, oh my God, Satan's coming, doomsday's here. Then search them for terms like cancel culture, censorship, outrage culture, things like that. The right to free speech absolutism. 7 of those 10 accounts that I sampled were engaged in denouncing cancel culture and censorship. And it wasn't always just well, the government's censoring people. No, a lot of it's against corporations. Google censoring people, YouTube is a subjugate, Amazon banning books and stuff. 7 out of 10. Now, if that ratio holds, you're saying that the supermajority of the people that have a big problem with this and basically want it canceled, well, it's degenerate and Satan lap dance and shit, it's evil, it's the degeneracy of our times, have a huge problem with the same broad philosophical underpinning of being outraged against moral taboos that literally creates cancel culture. Isn't that very interesting? See, that's hypocrisy. Now, I realize some of these people are a bit more prosaic. They're like, well, I'm outraged by this, but I don't think it should be censored. Okay, well, that's certainly better. But again, the philosophical underpinning's there. It's just like I've talked about the First Amendment. The First Amendment protects you from the government silencing you. It protects you from the government's power. But the philosophical reason why the First Amendment's there goes beyond simple constraint of government. It was an appreciation, Enlightenment era, of the idea of using the public square for public debate, oratory, for hashing it out, for discussing whatever ideas you wanted. The founders talked about goddamn space aliens on a fairly regular basis. Back then that was voodoo hoodoo weird nonsense that was totally against the Bible, but they thought they should be allowed to talk about it no matter how spooky ooky it was. They wanted to be able to talk about orgies and decadence and the libertine lifestyle and things that would get you censored under the regulated presses of Europe. That's the whole fucking point of the First Amendment. It went beyond the idea of the state shouldn't abuse you into the realm of you shouldn't be abused at all, say what you want. There was never a thought in their minds about the idea that a corporation would ever become monopolistic enough to prevent people from speaking freely. That didn't enter into their minds because the concept simply wasn't there at the time. You know, corporations in the primordial sense, of course, crown licensed. You're allowed to go extract gold and rape Native Americans or whatever. By the way, how is this even offensive, dude? It's 2021. The offensive? You're offended by Satan in the current year? Who gives a fucking goddamn shit? It's a music video. And also some people are like, well, it's going to be catered to kids. It's going to teach them degeneracy. Number one, no, that's not really what it's about. And number two, considering that it drops the F-bomb and the N-word and stuff, I don't think this is really geared towards kids. This is hip-hop. This is like the sort of thing that gets a parental warning label. Okay, so little Timmy can't get the Lil Nas X vinyl release, limited edition, 666 copies. Can't go into the record store and get that. He has to show an ID in order to get music. By the way, I think that those are also atrocious rules. That was, by the way, Tipper Gore, a Democrat, the wife of the dude with 3 jets who lectures you about climate change. That was literally the origins of that particular rung of cancel culture. That's about all. Peace out.